With scalp ultrasonography, hair follicles can be identified due to their unique structural characteristics. We can tell if they're inflamed or not depending on how dark their tubular appearance is, as they typically appear as small, relatively thin tubular structures in the skin layer, that is, if they don't have any sort of disease. And their appearance changes depending on the phase of the hair growth cycle they're in. When you're using ultrasound technology, you can tell what phase a hair follicle is in by seeing where in the skin strata that hair follicle is, or that sort of tubular circular structure appears, right? In the anagen growth phase, the follicle extends deeper into the dermis and the subcutaneous tissue, showing a more prominent structure. In the catagen transitional phase, the follicle begins to regress and move upwards towards the surface. And in the telogen resting phase, the follicle is at its most superficial position, where it is closer to the outer layer of the skin or the stratum corneum. And these patterns have been confirmed through histological studies and biopsies, which provide a detailed view of hair follicle dynamics. I'd recommend looking at the paper titled, quote, Hair Evaluation Methods, Merits and Demerits, unquote, by Durat and Saraogi, published in the International Journal of Trichology on July 1st, 2009. Another study to look at would be titled, quote, A Guide to Studying Human Hair Follicle Cycling in Vivo, unquote, published in the Journal of Investigative Dermatology by Ji-Won Ho et al., where here we can get more highlights on some very technical occurrences in the hair follicle and its growth cycles. And to be honest, there are some really, really nice pictures and images of the actual biopsy from the scalp skin, where you can see the hair follicles at different points of the hair growth cycle, along with some anatomical structures that are pointed out from the biopsy compared to pictures where they're actually drawn out, so you can kind of get an understanding about what you're looking at, right? And it's in these studies where you can see how the base of the hair follicle, known as the dermal papilla, detaches the hair shaft and how the hair follicle's position changes within the skin layers throughout the different phases of the hair growth cycle. So we can combine all that knowledge and kind of make sense from the hypoechogenicity of the hair follicle, as well as understanding from biopsy reports how anagen, catagen, telogen hairs typically look like. Now, when it comes to the appearance of fibrosis or scar tissue, and differentiating it from other hypoechoic structures like fluid masses or even hair in ultrasound imaging, it requires a closer look at their respective characteristics and patterns.